All right. Hey, hey. Hi, Virgos. All right, Virgos. Let's see. I it's a new day dawning is what I keep hearing in my head. Is this Celine Dion? Um, we have a 7 of Cups. Anything could happen. Say what? Say what? Anything could happen. I think that's Wycliffe. Um, we've got this feminine with her hat pulled low and the water buffalo with his fringe over his face here as well. I'm thinking somebody is like looking down, or maybe something falls over their face, and by the time they look up, something unexpected could be front and center. You notice how the cups are kind of like aligned in like V formation. Although anything could happen, I feel like it's going to be look down and then look up, and there's the thing that you're seeking. Especially like I'm wondering if Virgo could be, I know I've done this before where it's like, okay, I'm in a city I'm unfamiliar with, or I'm looking for something, and I'm standing and I look, stand on a sidewalk and look down at a map. And then by the time I look up, I'm like, oh, there's exactly, either what I was looking for or something that is different than what I was looking for, but I want to go in there anyway. And it feels like Virgo's going to glance up after a moment of looking down. By the way, obviously, public service announcement: do not look down, and away from the road while driving. Do not stop in the street. This is, if we're going to be distracted by something for a minute, get into a safe space first where nobody's going to hit us, run us over. We're not going to accidentally be blocking something. This is just kind of that PSA, like be careful, especially when you don't know what comes next. Now, this could also be just metaphorical. Like Virgo is saying, look, I have no idea what comes next. And then you look up and there's something that's like, oh, that's what's next. That's who is next. My impression is somebody's going to be right there. We have the Fool's bravery. And of course, I dig it because we got a little, well, that's actually a border collie, not a healer, but, border collies and healers are such great dogs. Obviously, I'm partial, but we have this, yeah, I'm going to go in this direction. This is suddenly going to be visible to Virgo, which route to take. What or who is this that just is right there in front of Virgo? We have got the Temperance, the flow of Temperance. It did come out sideways, but I'm going to show this gorgeous card upright. Swans do mate for life. Is Virgo about to meet somebody? They go from nothing, nobody in their space, to glancing up and locking eyes with a stranger, and it's like, wow. Or Virgo goes into an event, a location, they don't know anybody there, and then they glance up and there's somebody and they gravitate toward that person, like, oh, there's a friendly face. But it could become more than just a friendly face. This feels like something stands out, and it's because there's like an immediate draw, like, oh, that's who I'm headed toward. Experience of somatics. This is, it's definitely something that's going to change long term, change Virgo's life. This is the Knight of Pentacles. This is slow moving. I think even the fact that we have a budding relationship that could be a long-term relationship, it just seems like it comes up suddenly, unexpectedly for Virgo. Can I see what this is? I have another deck I want to use. It's in my mind. 5 of Somatics. So Virgo's head is down because they're actually having a sad day. They're having, okay, so Virgo might actually literally be sitting sad in, I'm picturing, I know this is weird, but like a public bathroom stall, having a little bit of a meltdown, or, sitting at home and just saying, it's whatever, like it's Friday night and I'm here by myself and I'm lonely. Sometimes when we tell the universe, like, honestly, I'm lonely, and then we look up and there's like a message on our phone. It could be like a very serendipitous, like, in my moment of grief, all of a sudden, sorry, I'm hearing a song in my head that I haven't heard since I was a kid. It's Marty Robbins, Padre, in my grief, I turn to you. So maybe it has a spiritual connotation. because that song, obviously he's talking, like padre, as in like father, like, a priest or something. And in my grief, I turn to you. I mean, it could be literally a father figure as well, but I'm thinking of it more spiritual, like, speaking to a priest, speaking to, a spiritual advisor. If Virgo is having a moment where they're just bummed, and then from that moment, they look up, and like I said, there's a text from somebody, and it could have been anybody, but this is a particular person, and it just kind of lifts Virgo's heart. It literally could be that Virgo has been unwittingly, through that moment of sorrow, admitting to themselves what they're hungry for. Look, a 5 of Pentacles is actually where we recognize what the thing is that we're missing. Sometimes if we don't know what we're missing out on, or what it is that we feel like we have a deficit in, what it is that we're wanting or hungry for, we don't know how to ask the universe for it. And I feel like that's the benefit of a card like the 5 of Pentacles. I mean, it's not, oh, that's sad, so it's something to be avoided. I always look at the 5 of Pentacles like, if I was going to cook a fabulous meal because I'm really hungry, but I also want to cook good food, the first thing I would have to do is look in my cupboards and see what items do I not have. If I'm going to make a recipe, whatever, chicken piccata, something with pasta on the side, I got to have all those ingredients. If I open up my fridge and my freezer and I go, I have no chicken, I have whatever, no capers. I don't even like capers, by the way. I don't really like chicken piccata. I'm just randomly, that popped into my head, but I've never made it. I don't like it. So this has definitely got nothing to do with me. But I would never probably put pasta with that myself. But anyway, all that just to say, we would look into our cupboard, our freezer, we would see what items we don't have. And then it's not this big grief process where we weep and oh my God, I don't have chicken. No, we would just matter of factly say, okay, put that on the list, put that on the list, put that on the list. Now I know what to go to the store and go buy. Basically, that's the equivalent of this message. Yes, there's a moment of sorrow. Yes, there's a moment where I think Virgo's like, because we do keep seeing the hang the head, which is a very physical visual of somebody who's sad. I hang my head because I'm just super bummed. I don't know what to do. I haven't got any of the things that I need. Or in this case, I'm sad. You know what? I realize I don't have a partner right now. And that I'm realizing I want that. That could be what Virgo's thoughts are, but that's the equivalent of making the shopping list and conveying that to the universe. That was Virgo's equivalent of manifesting it. Whether or not Virgo knew it, that was the moment where they opened up the doors and said, I want to hear from somebody that I would want to hear from, that I would feel comfortable with, that I could maybe build and grow something with, because universe, this is me telling you, I want the partner now. I don't want to be by myself. I want the partner. And it could be that was Virgo's like manifestation. Okay, this card on my elbow keeps getting stuck to it, wanting to pick it up. So we're gonna go ahead and bring it in, just because I don't know if you could hear that on the mic, but it kept flopping this card because it's stuck to my elbow. I'd move it a little and it would come with me. 2 of Pentacles. Virgo spoke from their heart about what they would truly want. So this isn't, look, I always think that we manifest the best when it's from the realist version of us. The vision that Virgo would really like to have. They didn't just want a partner. Virgo's like, I want to slowly and comfortably build with a long-term lifetime partner where we have temperance and balance. It's not Virgo saying, I just want anybody, no matter how toxic they are, because I'm feeling, lonely and I just want to like glom onto somebody. Not at all. This Virgo, from their very highest self, admitted whatever this is that they really would like to have in their life, which would have to be balanced and slow growing and joyful, like someone you build trust with, somebody that you build a romance with. That's why it's starting to take shape. So is Virgo like, I keep feeling like Virgo's receiving some kind of a message from somebody almost at the moment that they're sitting there saying, you know what I'd like? I'd like to have a partner. I know this is a very specific message. Not everything in life is about partnership. This card tells me that's how we're going to read this because of those swans. If it weren't for the swans, I could have read this as career as, I'm looking for a new place to live. I could have read it as many things, but the swans, I feel like this is more about love. Okay, so King of Wands sideways, Knight of Pentacles, Five of Wands, the Devil. You know what? When we think about that Temperance card and the balance and the equality that comes in with Temperance, I feel like somewhere on this beautiful planet, there is a King of Wands who is feeling the same way as Virgo at the same time as Virgo, feeling like I've been alone for such a long time. I maybe I've thought about contacting Virgo for a long time. I would like a partner too, I'm in the same, I feel like two people. I'm not saying Virgo was even thinking about being this King of Wands. I'm saying there's a King of Wands out there who's feeling the exact same way. Now, the only thing is they must be focusing more on Virgo, and they maybe are picking up on that, like I said, that doorway that Virgo suddenly opens energetically speaking, because they acknowledge something in their own heart and soul. I miss having a partner. I'd like to be in a partnership with somebody that I could really build with. Virgo sending that out to the universe, Virgo ordering that from the universe, like you order a pizza, that gets transmitted to them. They're picking up the same vibe. I feel like Virgo is so heavy on my mind. I'm going to maybe with fear, I'm going to go ahead because this is scary. He's the one sitting in the devil's lap going, this might be such a mistake. Should I text this Virgo? And here they are both looking at their phones, which is what I said at the beginning. I feel like Virgo's, kind of like sad. And then it's like their phone dings and they look up. And all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I'm hearing from this person. At a very freakishly perfect moment, because I think Virgo was literally just thinking, I really want to have partnership now. I wish, oh God, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl. If I did, I would call her. I know that song is in my head. I always think it's a fun one. It's like, I wish there was someone to call me. Now I'm hearing Stevie Wonder. I just called to say I love you. No New Year's Day, no Halloween, no chocolate covered candied hearts to give away. But what it is, all so new. It's just something about these three words that I must say to you. I just called to say I love you. Love that song so much. Sorry if I just totally mangled the lyrics. I would have to sing it to get the lyrics right, because to me, lyrics are connected to the melody. So my memory always, I hear the whole song, which is very hard for me to say it because I also have to say it off tempo instead of singing it. So forgive me that I know I just badly mangled. Great song by Stevie. I'm not saying he's calling to say I love you necessarily. I mean, maybe it's something where it's already that much of an emotional outpouring. I mean, he is a King of Wands and he is picking up a vibe from Virgo, and he is wanting to transmit a vibe back to Virgo. I feel like he may even want to come see Virgo. There is an element of he figuratively has been like standing on the outskirts of Virgo's life. By the way, I almost said Libra there. Don't ask me why. We have Capricorn there, but he's going to very fearfully, I think, just go ahead and impulsively send a message to Virgo, worried, like, is this a bad idea? Should I do this? Should I just text Virgo? Queen of Cups in the reverse, Emperor upright. He's maybe worried because I don't know if he had like a really bad relationship at some point in time with that Queen of Cups in the reverse. He's overcome it. He's in emperor mode. I think the act of him being bold enough to reach out speaks well of him, like throwing off whatever sorrow he carried from a lover of the past, somebody that was very emotionally manipulative. I think this is like a symbol of him being free of his own past, and him also wanting partnership, and him just listening to his intuition and saying, look, for whatever reason, this Virgo is like, she's in the forefront of my mind. I can't help it. I'm just going to go ahead and reach out. I'm freaking out here. Maybe it's a bad idea. For all I know, Virgo's going to be so much like my ex or something, really emotionally manipulative, but I'm going to do this. And I feel like as soon as he does, I think he feels better about himself. Like, you know what? I was bold enough to reach out. Well, how's Virgo going to react to this? And we already saw the Fool's bravery. There's that Temperance again, and there's the Hermit in the reverse. Virgo's going to respond. Virgo is going to talk to this person. By the way, I do not know if they could perhaps be a Virgo as well. That is possible here. But the second time we got the Temperance. So we also have, a lot of Sag energy. We also had Aries here. He came across first as a Leo Sag Aries. Maybe he's like a Leo Virgo cusper. Virgo themselves could be like a cusper or something as well. But we certainly have Virgo like comfortably responding to this person. And I don't know that Virgo will realize like, oh my God, this was the universe hearing what it is I actually want and reacting and responding and allowing my thoughts to be transmitted to somebody else who was already thinking about me anyway, but it's like they got the green light energetically to reach out to me. I don't know if Virgo will identify that's why this is happening, but it certainly pulls Virgo out of their own head, out of their own mind. And it's like, oh, this is kind of exciting. It's nice to hear from this person. They want to talk to me. Yeah, this will be really nice. I'm going to respond back to them. This feels like a cool drink of water. This feels nice. This feels like Virgo's guides are all around. I don't know if this is going to be like something in the early morning for Virgo. They could be just getting up. They could be responding to this person when they're outside. It could be night wherever he is. It could be day wherever Virgo is. By the way, it doesn't matter what genders we're talking about. Virgo technically has shown up as both masculine and feminine, but Virgo began more in feminine energy. And then the person reaching out to Virgo has pretty consistently come across as a masculine figure. Two of Wands, Page of Wands. So starting the dialogue with Virgo is one thing. I think Virgo's going to have real easy conversation. I don't think Virgo's going to be like, hi, what do you want? I don't see it that way. I see Virgo as just rolling with, oh, it's so nice to hear from you. I'm sitting out here in the sunshine, having a cup of sparkling water, enjoying my morning. How are things in your neck of the woods? I think it's going to be easy conversation. I don't think Virgo's going to be like, because of the Temperance coming out twice, there's going to be flow. I feel like this is somebody Virgo will be happy to hear from, but they are going to be pondering more heavily. How do I respond? What do I say next? Do I tell Virgo like, oh my God, I'm so glad to hear you respond to me. I really didn't know. With that pyramid in the back, it's like it was a mystery. I did not know if you'd remember me or if you'd want to talk to me, Virgo. Four of Swords. Virgo could be like, actually, you wrote me at the right time. I've been doing some healing for a while. It's great to hear from you, though. I don't know if I would say these two had like an old lover's connection. It could be somebody from Virgo's past, but I almost feel as if Virgo, it feels more like a friend who has thought about Virgo as more than a friend for a long time. They lost touch, and this is somebody reaching out, but it's kind of like, I didn't know if you'd want to hear from me or if this is a good time to reach out. This feels a little bit like two people who obviously they're warm enough to each other, but he was definitely worried maybe I shouldn't reach out. Maybe this is me being too bold, too bossy, too whatever. No, this is a start of something. Oh, Virgo, I think this one could go the distance. All right, I'm going to leave this here, but it's a nice way to begin. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribe.